beautiful people, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Oluchi Imo, and on this channel I talk about cake business and I share tips that would help you grow your cake business from ground all the way up. I'm an international award-winning cake artist that is based in Manchester, the United Kingdom, and just in case you're stopping by my channel for the first time or you're seeing this beautiful face for the first time, you are warmly welcome to my channel. If you've always been here, thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate you for always being here. Now in today's video, I'm going to be talking about something that I saw online. I saw a video that made me realize that we need to keep talking about this actually. A lot of people are not well informed yet. They're not well educated yet about this topic. They are not well enlightened yet about delivering cakes safely and how to avoid cake disasters and cake mishaps. It happens to even the best of us. Now, if you've experienced a cake disaster before or a cake mishap, then you want to stick around because I'll be sharing tips on how to avoid the things that I actually saw in this video, which I'll be sharing with you with credit to the original author and the people that have reposted this content. Now, if there's something you're interested in, please get something to eat, a drink, relax, and I'll be right back. You're welcome back. So, like I said, it happens to the best of us, and cake mishap is something that I feel that we need to keep talking about because we need to keep sensitizing ourselves. We have new entrants every day. Even the bakers that are already established, it happens to all of us. I know I had my own fair share not too long ago. I think that was last year. Last year before I came to the UK, I had a very bad experience which I've shared before on this channel, I think. Now, in this particular video that you're seeing right now, there are so many things that I could point out as being the reason for the failure of this cake. Now, if you're the baker that this happened to, I empathize with you and I am sorry about this that happened. I can't even imagine how you must have felt because this is a very terrifying experience. I'm saying terrifying not because I want to use big words or just show my play on vocabulary or whatever, but because I've been in that place where my own cake had a disaster and I know how it all panned out. It did not just happen and everything was swept under the carpet. No, even after the apologizing and everything, there was still some series of events after that. So I know it can be terrifying, it can be frustrating, it can be upsetting, it can be embarrassing, it can be everything you do not even want to experience, every negative kind of feeling you do not want to have, feeling you're not good enough and all of that. Now, looking at this video, this is what we should all learn and I feel that you can do as a baker. Number one, I can tell as at the time this cake landed on the floor of the car, I could not see any signs of dowelling. Now, from the content I put out online because I dropped a comment to share my thoughts and give tips as well. So what I can see right now is that there is no dowel on this cake. Maybe it's hidden. If it's hidden, I do not know. I can't see anything. If there's a dowel, definitely you would see it. When the cake turns upside down, you will see the traces. You will see actually the round, the round shape of the dowels beneath the cake. So what you want to do is to give your cakes proper structure. Please make sure, especially for two-tiered cakes, I've shared a video on how you can safely and solidly dowel your cakes so that you do not have issues like this. What doweling does for you is that it will not only keep your cakes from separating and falling all over the place and then falling apart, because there is a connector between the first tier and the second tier, but it will also give your cake stability such that when you put the top tier and the bottom tier, it will not sink into itself. It will not press, it will not lose balance and fall into itself. So that's what it does, especially when you use a cake board. What my teacher explained then that made me understand really what doweling is about is that it's like the pillars of the house that hold up the cake. So when you put your dowel rods in and put a board on top before you put the other tier of the cake, it's like a support, so it holds the upper tier, and I believe this should be able to give you an understanding of how doweling works. A single dowel will not work, so using a central dowel alone is not advisable and will not work for tiered cakes. What you need to do is to dowel the base first of all. I'm going to insert a video of how I dowel my two-tiered cakes. So you insert dowels in the base or on the base of the cake, and you also dowel the top It's a thing of choice. So you can choose to leave the top or you can choose to dowel it. Whatever works for you is fine. So the best advice I would give you is to dowel the base, right? And then use a central dowel that holds the two together. And if you've watched my video, you will see that I do not just rely alone on the central dowel. I use royal icing under my board. And before I put the cake as well, I would put buttercream so that it sticks together, it stays together. Now that's what I want to tell you about doweling, structuring your cakes. Please put the right structures in place. The second thing I can say is this: there is nothing sticking the cake to the board, or there was nothing that was applied to the base of the cake or to the board. If not, you would have seen it on the board or under the cake. And that's why I'm just saying this, because I can't see any buttercream, I can't see any chocolates, I can't see any trace of anything on the base of this cake. You cannot send the cake out without making it stick to your board. Now, what are the things that you can use? You can use buttercream, or your best bet, safest bet, is to use melted chocolate. So melt chocolate and then put it, when it sets, it just keeps your cake in place. So please do not just place your cake on a board and send it off. Please make sure that you're sticking your cake to your cake board using these things that I've mentioned. I don't know if there are other things that people use these days, because of course cake decorating is evolving, baking is evolving. But what I know and I can advise is to use buttercream or to use melted chocolate. So don't just put your cake on the board. Of course, it will stick to some extent, but you cannot rely on that. All right, so make sure that you're sticking your cake to your board before you send it out. Now, the third thing I can say is this: the cake was not placed well on the board. Even if you want to leave some space for the inscription, don't leave too much space and push your cake too much to the back that it loses balance. So from what I could see, this cake was bound to fall. Like, this thing that happened was bound to happen. If not during transit, not during the delivery, it would have happened maybe when the person was carrying it. If the person cannot carry it, doesn't know how to handle a cake properly, it would have just fallen, because it's all the way to the back and off center. I don't know how they explain this in science, but it has to do with the center of gravity, okay? So you've pushed your cake all the way to the back so that you can use the front to write, and it's already leaning to the back. Imagine someone carrying a cake and then probably carrying it in a way that the inscription is in front and the cake is all the way to the back, and the person is not handling it well. It's just fall off the board and fall on the floor because there's nothing holding it in place and it's not well balanced. So put your cake in the center. If you want to write, please just adjust it a little bit, or you use a cake topper. I think looking at the cake, you understand what I'm saying. So it's all the way to the back. Put your cake in the center. Centralize your cake, okay? Centralize it. And even if you want to do any sort of writing, just move it a little bit. Don't put all the weight to the back of the board. It is going to tilt, it's going to tip over, and it's going to fall. So that's one thing I feel that should have been done here. Put your cake in the center of your board, or make little adjustments for space to write. So the fourth thing, I think this is third or the fourth, I don't know, I've lost count, but you do not deliver your cakes on the seat of the car. Yes, I was doing it, but there are things that you need to do. Of course, not a two-tiered cake. Anything 2 tiers is in the boot of the car. Even my one tier, my single tiers go to the boot of the car, is except if it's full. The boot or the trunk, I mean, now you understand what I'm saying. So it's the boot of the car or the trunk of the car. You keep it there. It's either it's on the floor, the footwell of your car, or it's in the trunk. If you have to put it in front, maybe you have that, maybe the trunk of your car or the boot of your car is filled up and you want to put it on the car seat. Make sure that it is this way, it is leveled. It is not slanted, it's not tilting to the back of the chair, it's not tilting to the front either. It's just right, it's just flat for you to be able to move safely, okay? So best places for you: put it at the trunk of your car, or in the trunk of your car, or the boot of your car, or down. Move your seat, adjust the seat to the back, and then put it there. Now, sometimes you have to do multiple deliveries, I understand. So the back is filled, the back seat is filled, even the front, the footwell is filled, and so you have to just rely on putting it on the chair. Do it right. Get something to level that, maybe a book, something that is flat that would keep it straight. That's what you need to do. I do that for my customers as well. For those that come to pick up and then I have to go to the car, to set it for them, we would adjust it. And do you have a bottle? Do you have a bag? Do you have something I can use to just make? Do you have a book? Whatever it is, we use it to wage it. We call it wage. I think it's a word. So we use it to place under it and keep it leveled. So please don't be careless about the position. Like, don't just put your cakes anywhere. Do not even carry it on your laps. I see videos of people that carry cakes on their laps and they are driving. So you just see a 2 minutes or a 30-second clip or a 60-second clip, a 1 minute clip, and you think, oh, I'm good to go. I can put cakes on my laps. I can carry it on my hand and sit on the chair, and then I can just go. Please be mindful about the decisions you make about yourself, your business, your life, your family, everything that concerns you from what you see on the internet. So I would not say that is safe. If it works for you, oh well and good. But as a beginner and for someone who is just gaining experience, who is just learning, please do not carry your cakes on your lap or on your hands. Put them right where they're supposed to be, at the back or in the front. I believe I've talked about this enough, and you will. Now I would like to talk about the packaging of the cake. Obviously, this cake was not packaged. You cannot see any box, you cannot see any cake wrap, any cake film, or I don't know what you call it. There are different names they call it, like this transparent nylon you use to tie up your cakes. Please, for food safety and the safety of the people that are going to consume your cake, make sure that you're packaging your cakes right. I've talked about packaging a bit, what I used to do then when I started, in my branding video. That's an old video, but I'm going to link it. It will definitely help you. It's going to help you. Okay, so please package your cakes right. You don't just leave it exposed. It's not hygienic, it's not food safe, it's not presentable, it's not professional, it doesn't look okay. So put your cake in a box. And when you're using a box, I think someone has asked me about this video. Somebody asked me to make a video about cake boards, how to know the cake sizes to use. Oh, I would act on that, please. I forgot and I only just remembered now as I was making this point. So I'm going to do it. Talk about the cake boards that I use, the sizes of cakes, and the cake boards that I use for those sizes, and how the boxes as well. So what I do is to use the same board, the same size of board, and the same size of box, so that it fits in and it's snugly, so it just fits right in. I have a video I saw that I made one time. I just found it in my Google Photos, and I'm going to insert it. So if you're using a 14-inch box, if you're using a 14-inch board, make sure that you're also using a 14-inch box, so that it keeps it in place and it's not sliding. If you want to take precautionary measures or extra steps, then you can stick the board to the box. I've had cases of cakes flying. My cakes, I had a particular client, not even, let me just cite a particular story. A client of mine who buys from me, like they've been doing business with me. Even when I came to the UK, they still wanted to order cakes, and I'm like, I'm done doing business in Nigeria. So she bought a cake and told me she was going to be flying with it from Lagos to Abuja. And I understood the things that were involved. First of all, I will not make a buttercream cake for anybody to fly with. If you can, that's good. But just for me to be safe and to avoid stories at church, I decided to go for a fondant cake. If I can find the cake, I'll put it in the video. I'm going to insert the picture if I find it. It's a football themed cake. I can't remember what club now. So what I did was to make it in fondant first of all, and plan my baking. I did not want a case of landing in Abuja. For those of you that are in Nigeria, you know where Abuja is. So I did not want a case of it landing in another state and then they open it up and it's spoiled. So I planned and I timed my baking. I have a video of this. How early should I bake my cakes? And I'll insert it for you as well. So I planned my baking. The second thing I did was to cover it in fondant, because when if you've been in a plane before, when it's taking off, you know how the position of the plane is, and when it is landing as well. Landing is even better, so it doesn't nosedive. The plane does not nosedive, but going up is when it's taking off. It's like this sort of. Okay, so I did not want any trouble at all, so I made it in fondant as well. And another thing I was to stick the board to the box. I can't remember what I used now. I think I must have used, I can't remember what I used now. Let me not just call anything, but I used it and I informed my client that I've stuck the board to the box. I stuck it in a way that they might have to use something to run through the base of the board just to free it when they want to bring out the board from the box. I'm trying to manage the box and the board situation right here in my head and the words. Okay, so that's what you want to do. Package it right. Okay, it gives your business a good look. It makes you look professional. You don't just expose the cakes and then send it out for delivery. One more thing I want to share is that you should deliver in a cool car. So if it's buttercream cake, deliver in a cool car, in a well air conditioned car. If it's SMBC, buttercream, whatever you want to do, please, it's important. You treat the cake as a very sensitive item, okay, as a very sensitive piece of art, as food. Just do all you can to make sure that it gets to your destination in one piece. I hope that this video has been of great help to you. Once again, my heart goes out to you if you're the baker that had this cake. This is not to run you down or anything, but just to advise and make this a learning opportunity, and make this a learning opportunity for us all as bakers. Now, thank you so very much for watching this video. If you're interested in videos that I should make, please let me know as well. If I've not made them on my channel, if you have questions as well, you can drop them in the comments. Until I see you in my next video, stay happy, stay safe, and stay blessed.